You know, those early years were really golden in the sense that there was a lot of strength in being able to photograph without people thinking that you were doing anything. It was sort of like being invisible. You know, I'm thinking back on Lennon, and Lennon was always like trying to put me at ease and trying to, you know, let me relax. I think I always looked so worried. There was a certain kind of, you know, well, let's help her out. let's just help her get through this, or something like that.
By the mid-70s, Rolling Stone embodied the spirit of a generation and provided a forum for writers as diverse as Tom Wolfe and Hunter S. Thompson. Hunter Thompson was a political journalist who had acquired cult status among the magazine's readers. Thompson and Liebowitz had a close and somewhat stormy relationship for many years. He now lived in seclusion in Woody Creek, Colorado.
Zombies? The 1970s?
Yeah.
Barely, man. I have so much brain damage I can just barely remember the 80s. Or yesterday, for that matter.
Hunter is, you know, like Annie, is like one of these raw talents, you know, just full of energy. It's just almost explosive.
That's horrible. That must be Annie Liebowitz.
And working with Hunter has been at times a little bit like working with Annie, you know. So long hours, altered states of mind, you know, intense concentration, and just, you know, an enormous amount of fun.
Happens every night. That's the neighbor's pig. Comes over and tries to get into the peacock cage. He gets caught in the mechanical, what do you call it, nutcracker.
He would get pissed as hell anytime, you know, he saw me. You know, it was like I would blow his cover. I mean, he just felt he would come out at night and sort of lurk in the bars, and that's where he got his stories. He really was a lone wolf and liked to prowl on his own.
She was a photographer 25 hours a day. That's intolerable. I once burned her, all of her film, in the fireplace there. And then she threw her Hasselblad into the fireplace.
He had this habit of turning the lights off in the car so he could see the stars and the moon. And we were driving up the highway, and he was driving what the police would call erratically. You know, he was changing lanes. So he got pulled over. And I remember Hunter yanking me out of the back saying, "Annie, you have to take pictures."
I realized I was in trouble. So I began yelling over to the car. Annie, you bitch, get over here, bring that camera. And she responded. One of the great heroic acts of all time. She pulled herself together in this horrible mescaline frenzy, brought the Nikon out, and took pictures.
I did start to take pictures, and I was really surprised the policeman suddenly completely cooled off and got very nervous and did leave him alone. I felt as if I was in a very special place because, you know, I wasn't being told what to go out and see. I basically had to go out and see what I saw, and it was really impressionistic, you know, whatever I came back with, you know, usually ran. And there were a lot of times that the pictures were the crutch for the magazine. You know, they didn't have a story and they just ran the pictures. You know, that was, of course, true with Hunter filing for Nixon leaving the White House.
Mistakes, yes, but for personal gain, never.
Gone, but not forgotten. Missed, but not mourned. We will not see another like him for quite a while. He was dishonest to a fault. The truth was not in him. And if it can be said that he resembles any other living animal in this world, it could only have been the hyena.
I couldn't compete